Welcome to my channel. Today, we're exploring Stellar Defiance, a sci-fi journey where humanity stands strong and defies the odds across the galaxy. Dive into epic starship battles, powerful tech, and the resilience that makes us unstoppable in a universe full of challenges. If you're ready for a thrill-packed adventure in deep space, hit subscribe, and let's get started. Welcome to my channel. Today, we're exploring Stellar Defiance, a sci-fi journey where humanity stands strong and defies the odds across the galaxy. Dive into epic starship battles, powerful tech, and the resilience that makes us unstoppable in a universe full of challenges. If you're ready for a thrill-packed adventure in deep space, hit subscribe, and let's get started. In a galaxy of ancient civilizations, each thriving under the protection of overwhelming power, humanity was nothing more than a fledgling species. Emerging from a war-torn Earth, they had barely begun to stretch their arms into the vastness of space before they encountered the vast and powerful alien coalitions that dominated the cosmos. At first, the encounter was peaceful. The alien species, like the Vrethu, Sylvaris, and Zultran, saw the humans as a promising new addition to the galactic order, a species capable of contributing to the stability of the cosmos. But the humans, stubborn and prideful in their will to survive, quickly realized the cost of this newfound inclusion: their autonomy, their identity, their right to define their own future. The galaxy was ruled by the Concordat, a union of ancient species who held dominion over nearly every star system, every resource, and every aspect of life in the galaxy. To the Concordat, humanity's entry was welcomed only under one condition: submission. Their planets were governed by alien overseers, their technology limited, their cultural influence suppressed. They were taught to be grateful for the protection of the elder races. And humanity, ever resilient and determined, rejected this notion. The Unyielding Wall of humanity, as it would come to be known, was born out of a collective realization: humanity would not bend. They would not kneel. They would not be cowed by the ancient races that had ruled the galaxy for millennia. This is the story of humanity's struggle, its fight to build a future of its own, a future where the human race could thrive as equal to the galaxy's elder powers. It is the story of how a single species, armed with sheer willpower, ingenuity, and an unshakable belief in its own potential, would rise against the stars and create a legacy that no one, not even the most ancient beings in the galaxy, could erase. The first cracks in the wall. The story begins in the early days of humanity's subjugation by the Concordat. Though the human colonies had flourished under the protection of their alien overlords, something within the heart of humanity was slowly changing. It was no longer a matter of survival or coexistence, it was about freedom from a galactic empire that sought to control everything. On a quiet colony in the Pindar sector, a small mining world called Quran 4, the first seeds of rebellion were planted. The Concordat had decided to use Quran 4 as a base for their energy-producing stations, controlling all the local resources for their own gain. The human settlers on the planet had long known that they were being exploited, but it wasn't until the day the Sylvaris overseer arrived that things began to unravel. The overseer was a towering, alien being, its body made of shining bioluminescent skin and long tendrils that seemed to move with a life of their own. The Sylvaris were known for their intelligence, their efficiency, and their cold, calculating nature. The overseer, charged with ensuring the compliance of all humans on the planet, addressed the human leaders of Quran 4 with the same dismissive tone they had grown accustomed to. But this time, something was different. The humans, led by a charismatic engineer named Rebecca Talon, refused to comply with the overseer's demand for further mineral extraction. "Our people have bled for years to keep your empire running," Rebecca spoke to the overseer. "We have given you everything, and for what? More labor. More work. More tribute." Her words were sharp and full of defiance. The tension that had been simmering in the colonies for years now erupted into open rebellion. The humans on Quran 4 resisted, not with the powerful military equipment of their oppressors, but with guerrilla tactics, sabotaging the energy facilities, setting traps for the alien overseers. It was a dangerous gamble, but for the first time in their history under the Concordat, the humans had tasted the bitter fruit of defiance. They had raised a wall of resistance. When the Concordat responded with overwhelming force, sending warships and troops to quash the uprising, the rebellion seemed doomed. The humans, outmatched and outgunned, knew that their fight could not end here. But they also knew that they could never again live in submission. The idea of submission, of bending to the will of the alien powers, was anathema to them now. Rebecca Talon and the leaders of the resistance were captured, and the colony was decimated in retaliation. But the message had been sent. Humanity was no longer content to be ruled. They would not lie down in the face of oppression. The rise of the wall. The Quran 4 incident marked a turning point in human history. Though the rebellion had been crushed, the resolve of the humans could not be extinguished. News of their fight, and their eventual martyrdom, spread through the human colonies like wildfire. Across the galaxy, in every settlement, in every city, there was talk of resistance. Talk of fighting back. Talk of standing up against the Concordat. The Free Human League was born from this new wave of defiance. Led by veterans of the Quran 4 rebellion and individuals like Rebecca Talon who survived, the League began to organize humans across the galaxy. They didn't just raise arms, they raised their voices, spreading their message far and wide: humanity would no longer be the subjugated. They would rise and fight for their freedom. This movement wasn't just political, it was deeply cultural. The Wall of Humanity became a symbol not only of resistance, but of the collective will of humankind. The wall represented their unyielding nature, their refusal to back down in the face of cosmic tyranny. It was a defense not of their bodies, but of their spirit, their will to live on their own terms, and to determine their own fate. The League began to recruit. It started small, disenfranchised humans, ex-soldiers, scientists, and political dissidents. But soon, their ranks swelled as oppressed humans in every corner of the galaxy joined their cause. They fought with whatever means they could gather: stolen weapons, makeshift starships, and military tactics honed from years of being on the defensive. It was a ragtag alliance, but they were united by a single, powerful truth: humans would not yield. In the Kundera system, a large group of rebel miners waged a series of sabotage missions, blowing up Concordat supply stations and undermining their military efforts. The Talon fleet, a fleet of human ships that had once served as civilian transport vessels, was retrofitted with makeshift weaponry. They struck in surprise raids, attacking vital Concordat trade routes and stealing crucial supplies. The humans were not yet strong enough to face the Concordat's fleet head-on, but they had learned the art of survival. They had learned the art of fight back. The wall of resistance expands. The rebellion began to attract attention from not only humans, but other oppressed species who saw in the human fight for freedom a reflection of their own struggles. The Valkyrians, a species of fierce warriors, had long been subjugated by the Concordat's military rule. The Zarkan, a race of miners whose systems were exploited for their rich mineral resources, also saw their opportunity to rebel. Slowly, alliances were forged, and the human rebellion became more than just a revolt. It was the beginning of a galaxy-wide uprising. The Vrethu, a species of ancient, energy-based beings, had long ruled over the galaxy with an iron fist. They were immortal, capable of manipulating the very fabric of reality itself. They were the architects of the Concordat, the ones who had enforced its rule for millennia. To them, the concept of a rebellious human species was an affront to everything they believed in. They watched with growing concern as the human resistance spread. The Vrethu, seeing humanity as nothing more than a troublesome nuisance, dispatched their most fearsome warriors, the Inheritors, to quell the uprising. The Inheritors were a fearsome force, a group of elite Vrethu warriors who were said to be invincible. Their abilities to manipulate energy and bend the laws of physics made them nearly unstoppable. But the humans, ever adaptable, were ready. They had begun to understand the deeper truths of the galaxy's power dynamics, learning from the very technologies they had once been forced to suppress. It was this ingenuity, this relentless drive to understand, adapt, and overcome that would ultimately define humanity's place in the cosmos. In the Battle of Nova Spire, the humans, with the help of their new allies, managed to defeat a Vretha warship in a battle that would become legend. The Inheritors were repelled, and the human fleet emerged victorious, at least for a moment. It was a victory for the human spirit, a demonstration of what they could achieve when they came together. The Wall of Humanity had taken form. It was not just a defense. It was a statement. The last stand. The rebellion continued to grow in strength and scope. The free worlds, united under the banner of human resistance, began to win battles, reclaim planets, and liberate entire star systems from the clutches of the Concordat. Humanity had become a force, a bright new hope for those who had long suffered under alien rule. But the Concordat was not about to relinquish control so easily. With their vast resources and technological supremacy, the Concordat prepared for the final war. They would not let humanity stand as an equal force in the galaxy. The War of the Wall, as it would be known, was about to begin in earnest. Humanity, now united under the leadership of Admiral Marcus Drake, the legendary hero of the rebellion, prepared for their final confrontation. The fate of the galaxy hung in the balance.